Number 7, Rachel McIntyre. Number 8, Mia Moore. Number 9, Casey Weir. Number
Well, hello and welcome to Seaview for the opening match in European Qualification 2023. This is League A Group 3 and Northern Ireland's women's under-17s kick off the mini-tournament with a clash against Finland at Seaview. I'm Barry Green. Noel Mitchell's Charges will go on to face Austria at Solitude on Monday, and they'll then wrap up by returning here next Thursday to take on their Republic of Ireland counterparts. This, incidentally, is the third meeting between the under-17s of Northern Ireland and Finland. The Finnish beat Northern Ireland 4-2 11 years ago this month. Their second meeting resulted in a 1-0 success for the girls in green. That was all the way back in 2013. So, Helen McKenna, the former Northern Ireland women's international and a player who turned out many a time here at Seaview in the red and black colours of Crusaders, is with me. Helen, tonight's game promises to be quite the spectacle, doesn't it?
Yeah, really good game to get Northern Ireland's campaign underway. Finland will be a tough opposition, but these girls will be ready and they'll be prepped, and hopefully they'll be a good match to watch.
Yeah, in terms of the under-17 picture as it stands, Northern Ireland have been promoted into League A. They won all of their games at a mini-tournament back in March. That was in Israel, so quite the performance there. But this could actually represent quite the step up, couldn't it?
Yeah, this is a huge step up for the girls. The way the qualification for the under-17 tournament is structured, once you go through the League B and promote it to League A, the opposition ramps up in terms of quality, and this will be a huge step up for some of these girls, especially as some of the players in the current under-17 squads. This will be their first experience of real competitive football at this level.
Yeah, just in terms of the teams tonight, and we'll take a look at Northern Ireland's team early on. Northern Ireland will go with a 4-3-3 setup. There's Ellie Scott in goal, Orlia McGuinness, then Abby Sweetlove and Niamh O'Donnell in the centre of defence. Sophie Keenan plays at left back. Then a midfield three, we're led to believe it'll be Darcy McNeil, Amy Kerr, the skipper, and Mia Moore, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it. And then up top it's Sophie Gargan, Casey Weir, and also Rachel McIntyre. So quite a bit of intent in there.
Yeah, and very pacey in the wide areas. Gargan and McIntyre particularly tricky on the ball, direct and powerful. So, and the three holding midfielders will be hoping to get on the ball and pull the strings.
And the Finnish team then, there we see it, they'll play a 4-4-2, very loosely, the manager Akan Okamo tells me, and that will see Royn in goal, Mer, Laikinen, Turkia and Heikkinen complete the back five. Emilia Laiho, Bettina Aho, the skipper Kiviranta, Reutz, and then up top will be Sofia Jankkinen, and she is partnered by Kertu Sorellis, just 15 years of age. There we see the two teams just out on the pitch in your picture. So quite decent timing, as it turns out, to come to the game. If you've just joined us, you are very welcome.
Please be outstanding to the national anthem of Finland.
Now we're going to have the two national anthems, starting with the national anthem of Finland. Time for the national anthem for Northern Ireland. This is some evening to play a game of football, and quite the stage for some 15 and 16-year-olds, really.
Yeah, I mean, stuff of dreams. These girls will have come through academy setups and county excellence programmes, and this is what all those nights of training in cold and wet conditions are for, to get the opportunity to represent your country, and what a stage.
Helen, you have noticed straight away the Finnish team. They do look to have a superior height advantage. Not that that will necessarily count, but certainly on set pieces it could prove difficult to defend against. Yeah,
I mean, Scandinavians are generally a big and athletic countries. In the warm-up they look big and physical, athletic, and certainly have probably a bit of an advantage in the height department, but our girls will be no stranger to grafting and getting in amongst it, and in their last game against Belgium they certainly did that. They mixed it with probably bigger physical opposition as well.
Losing by just 1-0 in that game. They're the two skippers, Amy Kerr of Northern Ireland and Milja Kiviranta of Finland, together with the referee this evening, Deborah Annex, who's joined, she's from Switzerland, joined by Letitia Nuara, Michelle O'Neill, familiar name, and the fourth official, Gavin Colfer. Lovely evening, and I've said that a couple of times, but actually you and I did a game last week. It was incredibly different to this in terms of condition. It was colder, we had wind, we had rain. You could just about play any pass here. I don't think there's a crosswind. No, tonight is absolutely perfect. There's been a bit of rain today, so the pitch will be nice and slick, which should make for nice football, which the Northern Ireland team are set up to do. They're all very good technicians, good on the ball, and Noel Mitchell has them. He likes to play the ball on the ground and move the ball about a lot, so conditions are perfect. No wind and nice wee bit of surface water should make it for slick. Last few preparations from both these teams, and Northern Ireland will start in the left of your screen. They'll be attacking the Fonacab stand end, and they'll get us underway. Playing in their traditional green colours. It'll be the captain, Amy Kerr of Ballyclare Comrades Ladies. He'll get us up and running here this evening. I make it we're kicking off just ahead of schedule. Yep. Referee just waiting for the signal from the fourth official. Certainly both teams out early, prepared, and ready to go. And I will tell you that this is the second game in this mini-series. Austria managed a 1-0 success here earlier on. That match was played at 2 o'clock, and their opponent, the Republic of Ireland. What can Northern Ireland do? The ball struck towards the Finnish 18-yard box, and Nia Moore, wasn't it, trying to get onto possession. No real conviction with the shot from Sophie Gargan, but a good start nonetheless. Yeah, front foot, that's where you want to go, start off, and Northern Ireland will want to try and press the Finland team. Northern Ireland got home advantage, and there's a good crowd in tonight, so a nice positive start will get the crowd on their side. Well, let's talk a bit about, obviously, the Finns wanting to play from the back, and we saw an outlet both on the right hand side and the left hand side of the keeper. Northern Ireland's attackers chose to sit back, really, so they did. Do you think that's something that's been purposeful from the off? Yeah, possibly. I mean, the Finnish team like to knock it about, so it's where Northern Ireland will want to have their line of pressing, and they'll probably let them comfortable to have them on the back four, and then it's when the ball moves in the middle they'll want to start and press from there. A wee bit of miscontrol from Sorelius. 15-year-old wearing number 19, and to tell you, she's one of the biggest girls out there this evening, and she could present some difficulty in attack. Leads the line with authority. It's good from Ida Heikkinen. And here is Sorelius. Couldn't quite keep the ball in. That'll be a throw in down this near touchline to be taken by Orlia McGuinness, and one of the McGuinness sisters. We talked about them, didn't we, last week? And this is the latest off the production line.
This is the latest off the production line. Quite a production line. I'm not sure how they make them in North Belfast, but excellent. Two very adept sisters ahead of her in Kirsty and Caitlin, and Orlea seems to be just another cut off the old block. Very tidy right back, quick like her big sisters.
Yeah, she's got to be aware here. She's got a marker potentially inside and one running this near touchline in Tilda Rats. And here from the back comes Pinja Turkia. Short pass to Ida Heikkinen. Heikkinen with the long searching pass, looking for that ball out to Amelia Laho. And this is good from Rachel McIntyre. McIntyre looking for some support, and she'll get that down the line from Casey Weir of Glentoran. Just cut out. And both teams just trying to find their feet, and the Finns breaking forward in numbers early on. Here's Sofia Jankinen, and that's a lovely through ball. What can they do here, Finland? That's great covering in the end from Niamh O'Donnell, but it shows how dangerous, Helen, that Finland can be.
Yeah, they're breaking massively in numbers. They're stretching the pitch. The two wide players are pulling right wide, and great movement. They go wide to come in and got in behind Northern Ireland there, but great cover from Niamh O'Donnell. Read the situation and snuffed it out.
So just over 3 minutes played at Seaview. It's Northern Ireland's under-17 women 0, Finland 0. Ball deep into the box. That was the intention anyway. Went straight out of play, so rather wasteful in the end, but some early danger. And I think it was 20 Tilda Rats who had the awareness to dip in past her marker, and good defending in the end from Niamh O'Donnell, who plays her football with Mid-Ulster Ladies. Bit of a scuffed goal kick from Ellie Scott, but she got away with it, and a bit of pulling of the shirt there on the far side on Northern Ireland's number 10, Amy Kerr. Decent crowd in at the far side as well. I'll be hoping for Northern Ireland goal in these early stages. Here is Sophie Keenan of Linfield. And that ball had run out of play according to the assistant on the far side. And Northern Ireland sitting in. That looked like a bit of a foul throw to me. Referee allows play to continue in spite of that. Just one Northern Ireland player up top, and it's Casey Weir of Glentoran, but that's great hassling in midfield from Amy Kerr. Helen, if anything, she just needs to be a bit more selective and composed when she has possession. Yeah,
done excellent to win it back. The Northern Ireland, the midfield three are going to have a hard night. I'm just watching the Finnish side. Their movement and rotation in and out is excellent, so it's going to be about that composure on the ball when they do win it back. Can they pull the strings and put that incisive pass in?
Well, they're content, Akamo's team, to play the ball right across the back, and this will again run off O'Donnell's head and all the way through kindly to Ellie Scott. But the Finns, they look as if they have intent in their game. They're keen to play the ball across the back, but by the same token, that long searching pass is one they've looked to use in the early 5.5 minutes here. Yeah,
they'd like to move it short, but the direct ball's always on, and they're trying to move quickly into attack, and the big outlet to the front three from Finland is on.
Bettina Aho, 16-year-old midfielder, with the foul on Amy Kerr. Northern Ireland pushing forward in numbers, but they've chosen to go short, and O'Donnell switches play. That's a lovely switch to McIntyre. Bit of a push in the back, and that put Rachel McIntyre off ever so slightly. Ida Heikkinen was the player with the strong challenge. It was a legal one, it was a good one, and she certainly let her Northern Ireland counterpart know she was there. Here she is in possession again. Heikkinen with those luminous yellow boots. Good play from Darcy McNeil. Again, it runs to nothing for Northern Ireland. And some big news today. We'll touch on it, Helen. We can't really not change in the hot seat for Northern Ireland in the men's game. Ian Barraclough, after some 28 months or so in charge, they were saying, with just 4 victories in that time, he has exited stage left and created an opportunity for someone else to come in.
Yeah, I think it's news probably the Green and White Army have probably in most quarters been calling for, so decision finally taken today by the FA, so be interesting.
Yeah, ball over the top, and she looked offside as soon as that ball was played from Sophie Gargan to Casey Weir, and the assistant just waited her time down this near touchline.
Yeah, a great run from Casey Weir. I mean, she needs to be the outlet. She needs to get in between the 2 centre backs, and she did that well in the last game against Belgium. She led the line very, very well, and needs to stay direct and central, allowing the wide players to get in behind in the wide areas.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Northern Ireland managerial position then, and you make a very relevant point. I think Ian Barraclough, certainly in recent times, hasn't necessarily been the first choice, particularly for the fans, and now's about time, I think, with Euros coming up next time around, to switch things up.
Yeah, I think possibly, just my opinion, that the draw was quite favourable, and perhaps some quarters in the FA thought maybe a change of manager might get a change of performance and change of results in the hope of maybe getting near that elusive qualification. And
who do we think could be in the running there?
Who do we think, or who do we want?
Well, there's names bandied around today. For me potentially, although I'm jumping the gun, Michael O'Neill's out of a job at this minute in time. He's done such an amazing job when he was Northern Ireland number 1. Jim Magilton, Neil Lennon, David Healy.
I mean, all the usual suspects that usually come into the frame when the Northern Ireland job gets talked about. I mean, Michael O'Neill would be the fans' favourite to come back. Done a phenomenal job the last time. Difficulty is for Michael, do you want to go back and tarnish your reputation? But he's out of a job, so he might want a second bite at it.
The one caveat to that, of course, is the prospect of coming back to international football, and the irregularity of meeting up with players and having camps is very different to, as we see, an amazing through ball towards Casey Weir, and Weir tries it first time. Let's focus on that first of all then. A great through ball and a bit of a half chance for the Glentoran striker. Yeah,
excellent through ball, perfectly weighted, great vision to see the run, and great run from Casey Weir. She peels off the left shoulder of the centre back, and good touch, and takes it first time. Not a bad effort. Northern Ireland will be pleased with that, nice and positive.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, it's a very different scenario going in 9 to 5 in a club job than it is, and I think that's what probably prompted Michael O'Neill to leave the Northern Ireland job first time around. Yeah,
I think he made no mistake about that, and he wanted the regular football, he wanted the regular contact, and he took the Stoke job and did well initially, but unfortunately it didn't just go to plan. But I mean, it's whether he'll want to return to that international setup, a bit more space in between contact with the players, but certainly the Green and White Army would take him back, I imagine, with both hands.
I think so. Well, it's a position we're going to watch with interest. Plenty of resignations and changes over the last 24 hours. We've had the Prime Minister, we've had Stephen Gerrard leave his job as Aston Villa manager, Northern Ireland manager leaving as well. So these are times of tumultuous change, really. Turbulent
times. It's hard to keep your job in football and politics these days. I'm not sure I'd fancy a full-time job in either.
Orlia McGuinness with the throw. I think the Finnish skipper, Milja Kiviranta of JK Helsinki, and just as I'm about to say, the captain's armband that she was wearing kept slipping down. So what did she do? In typical footballing fashion, she ripped it off and threw it off to the side.
Had enough of that.
None of that. Never mind. Here is Heikkinen. I've been impressed by her in the early stages, playing at left back. Good defending again from McGuinness, and the pressure still building. 11.5 minutes in. Still scoreless here at Seaview between Northern Ireland's under-17 women and Finland. Stepping inside again is Heikkinen. Now the ball's with Laikinen. Deep searching cross into the middle from Edith Mer. Again, strong defending. I think this time around it was from Abby Sweetlove, a girl with plenty of experience of the senior game, Helen.
Yeah, excellent. Abby Sweetlove read it very well, fresh off the back of Player of the Month for Linfield. She's a regular in the Linfield senior setup. She is definitely, I would say, one for the future, but probably one currently. She's an excellent centre half. Yeah,
reads the game so well, and so young as well, to be holding down, not only holding down, much more than that, obviously. Corner again for Finland. Deep ball towards the 6-yard box, and Orla McGuinness it was in the end. The header was from Ida Heikkinen.
That's exactly why we have people on the post.
There's another look at it, Helen. Deep ball. And we can see Heikkinen with the header.
Yeah, good header down. Does everything right, the centre forward, but good cover from Orla McGuinness on the post. Does her job.
Well, here comes the next corner kick for the visiting side. Northern Ireland failing to clear their danger so far. Need to be careful here. Be careful with their challenges, and I think it's Moore who comes away with possession. And there's a ball round the corner that could well find Casey Weir. Talking about turning defence into attack. She needs support, does Weir. And that's excellent cover from Mayer at right back. Well, that was good. Challenge from Moore, Helen, had to be.
Yeah, she was stuck in between the two Finland players. She did well to emerge with the ball. They're very big and physical in the middle of the park, Finland.
Well, an early warning sign for Northern Ireland to remain keen to sit in. Players back in numbers, and make no doubt about it, Noel Mitchell has the girls well drilled. They're happy to let their Finnish counterparts have possession. Here is Heikkinen, who continues to impress. Burley defender. That was good from Mia Moore. Lovely from McIntyre, who should tidy up. She needs to be careful here, though. Use their body to prevent rats from getting the ball. And she should have had a bit of an outlet down the line. Give plenty of pre-warning. Here is Mia Moore. Heikkinen got back, but that could well be a corner kick. And that's good play, Helen.
Yeah, great play by Mia Moore. She's pushed forward, and Rachel McIntyre had been back in helping out the defence, so she's filled her position well and travelled with the ball. I mean, that's what you want. You want Northern Ireland to be positive and get on the front foot. They have lots of pace and lots of players who are good on the dribble, so that's going to be their outlet.
Yeah, it's Amy Kerr who's gone across to take this corner kick. Options up from the back as well. There's Niamh McDonnell up. Instead it goes to McIntyre. McDonnell tried to hook the ball over her shoulder. Back in again from Keenan. Just needed to take a bit of a look up. Didn't quite spot that Rachel McIntyre, if she had have ran onto that ball, could well have been offside. Yeah,
she was offside. The Finland back four got out very, very quickly, leaving the Northern Ireland players still in there.
So, we're over the quarter of an hour mark, and it's been a solid start from Northern Ireland. I would say Finland have had the better of possession. They've had the clear-cut chance of the game. They've come closest, but Northern Ireland more than holding their own.
Yeah, more than. I mean, bar that one move from Finland, which was excellent, the great run out wide and then the ball in behind. But aside from that, Northern Ireland have marshalled them very, very well. Darcy McNeil playing in front of the back four there has been excellent cover and really kept Finland at arm's length and 30-40 yards from goal, which is where you want.
Well, let's talk about the wider context then at this level of football then. It must be a difficult scene to be involved in, albeit a rewarding one for a manager. I mean, we touched on it at the top of the programme, but Noel Mitchell's obviously preparing players, and the players who, incidentally, as we see McGuinness with the attempted cross into the middle, and that will be a goal kick, unfortunately, for Northern Ireland. But that group of players who effectively got Northern Ireland elevated from League B to League A, a lot of those girls have gone now.
Yeah, it's a tricky structure at under 17 level. A lot of the players who competed in the League B have now moved on to under 19 football. Same for Finland, same for all the teams at this level, but it's very tricky in terms of preparation. You get that excellent experience at B level, you're moulding as a team, and then you lose maybe 3-4 of your starters in terms of the next phase of qualification, and that's bound to be difficult for Noel Mitchell to manage.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, but what I would say is the pathway through, particularly for the Northern Ireland underage players, both for males and females, it's certainly a lot more streamlined than it ever has been.
Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal now, and the structures are in place. County Excellence Programme, under 15 international experience, moving through to under 17s, under 19s. I mean, the pathway is there, which gives these elite players the opportunity to develop at a pace that suits them. You know, in terms of the under 15 tournament is a one-off once a year, then they move into the qualification with the 17s, 19s. It's excellent preparation to then hopefully kick on and represent at senior level.
Great platform for the girls, and just trying to pick that last bit of play. It was Darcy McNeil who tried quite an ambitious through ball, slide rule pass really, but it's one, I think if it comes off, it's smashing. Here she goes again, but she's looking to get the ball away early doors, and that's good. Yeah,
she's really impressed me tonight. She gets on the ball, and she's just passed it back, as I was just about to say. Most of her passing has been forward and positive. She's searching for the runs of Casey Weir and trying to get it wide to Sophie Gargan and Rachel McIntyre, who really are the danger players, and you want to get them on the ball.
A lovely step over out the far side before Northern Ireland lost it by Sophie Keenan. Now the ball. No penalty, says referee Deborah Annex. Kertu Sarelius it was who went down in the area. What did you make of that one, Helen?
As an ex-centre forward, I'd have probably been screaming for that as a penalty, but as a Northern Ireland fan, I'm delighted it wasn't. Good cover, but the big centre forwards, very big in physical stature. She gets really tight to Niamh O'Donnell and tries to roll her. Niamh O'Donnell does well to stay tight. Referees have judged no foul, and we're happy with that as Northern Ireland fans.
Yeah, well, definite penalty claim, but if anything, when you watch the body language of the player who went down, she was back up pretty quickly. She didn't remonstrate. She
didn't make a meal of it and didn't call for it. I'd have been screaming blue murder.
Finland in possession. Here's Heikkinen. Again, she's been volunteering to take up possession. It's all the way across from Turkey. Heikkinen. It's back again with the finish number 2, Pinja Turkia. Thinking of pressing Heikkinen that little bit higher up the pitch. And it's back again. Northern Ireland might not seem as if they're doing too much here, but believe me, they're sitting in quite a compact formation.
Their shape is excellent. I have been very, very impressed. The 2 banks of 3, they're tucking in, they're rotating when one is pressing, one is covering. Very, very well drilled, very, very organised. And you don't always see that when you're watching football and you can't appreciate it, but let me tell you, that is an incredibly difficult task, what those girls are being asked to do, and they are doing it excellently. That requires enormous concentration to constantly hold your position and watch for runners, and they're doing it excellently.
Well, still scoreless after 20 minutes. If you've just joined us, Northern Ireland playing from left to right in the green colours, and the Finns all in white. It's a long ball, it's a searching ball, and it's one that's found Rats, and that's a decent snapshot from Tilda Rats, and she just couldn't hook her foot round it, Helen.
No, great ball in. Gets lucky with the first touch, comes inside Orla McGuinness and tries to wrap her foot around it in the top corner, but doesn't just quite get the technique.
And Northern Ireland just struggling to clear their lines, and here come the Finns once more. Oh, it's good covering from Niamh O'Donnell. Cries of Northern Ireland down below us, and that'll hopefully get the home crowd going. Green and white army here at Seaview. Northern Ireland, as we mentioned at the top of the programme, it's 2 more games to come in quick succession. They'll face Austria at Solitude on Monday, and then on Thursday it's a quick turnaround when they play the Republic of Ireland here. The Republic having lost by a goal to nil in these Euro 2023 qualifiers. League A Group 3 games. Bit of a tongue twister, Helen.
Yeah, rather you than me, but yeah. It's an excellent opportunity for these girls, and they've been working hard in terms of their preparation, so they'll be pleased with how they've played so far tonight and given a good account of themselves.
McIntyre give the ball to Abby Sweetlove, who managed to win the throw-in down the line. And then McGuinness has a lace to tie down below us, and we'll have a stoppage for a moment or two. No Mitchell, Northern Ireland manager, giving some instructions down to goalkeeper Ellie Scott in terms of where he wants the ball played out and distributed to from the back. Now McGuinness tries down the line to Casey Weir, and Heikkinen, if anything, was a little too close that time around. That's a good match-up, isn't it? Casey Weir of Glentoran and Ida Heikkinen. Here they are. Lovely touch round the corner from Weir. McIntyre takes over. Tries the ball into Gargan. Now they've got to get back in numbers because the Finnish ladies are piling forward. Here's Kiviranta. Lovely touch inside, and Mia Moore was almost equal to it, but she got her body slightly in the way, and a slight tug of the jersey. Not much in it. No,
not much. I thought she battled well to win it back. I actually thought it was a free the other direction, but maybe that's just my green glasses on. But great cover from Myanmar. She tried her best to slow up play, and that's exactly what you want for your midfielders when you're trying to get back.
The referee, Deborah Annex. There's a quick word, and again, the Northern Ireland players down. Sophie Gargan tying her laces, and will they go short this time? Not quite sure what that was, but Tilda Rats it was to change the direction of the free kick delivery. Lehu's kind of dummy over the ball. Wasn't particularly effective for me.
I've definitely seen better disguise on a free kick, but thankfully it goes out for a by ball. No real danger.
Yeah, a couple of concerns for Northern Ireland in the opening 25 or so minutes here, as we see that delivery out from the back, and they need to be careful here, do Northern Ireland. Oh, that looked like a free kick. Hands from Emilia Leho. I was going to say Finland have had a couple of decent opportunities. Ida Heikkinen had a header after 13 minutes. Orla McGuinness, right place, right time for the fullback, and made the clearance just a couple of yards from goal. That was down at the motorway end, I'll call it.
Yeah, the old railway end. Yeah, Northern Ireland will be happy though. They're keeping them to shots from distance and sort of 10 yards outside their box, which is where you want to keep them if they're going to be coming at you.
Sophie Gargan, lovely step over out the far side. I thought momentarily she may have kept the ball in. It wasn't to be. Finland, of course, they had that shot after 22 minutes. Tilda Rats, it was seizing on possession but just couldn't wrap her foot around the ball, and it angled away from the angle of the post and the crossbar. And down the other end, Casey Weir had a half chance that was easily saved by the Finnish goalkeeper Venla Roin, 16-year-old number 1 for Finland. They did of course have a penalty claim for the Finnish as well. Those claims were waved away by Deborah Annex. The challenge from Niamh O'Donnell, and that was on Kirtu Sorelius, who went down. No penalty kick, but here come the Finns again. Leho tried the ball again inside, and that will be picked up by McNeil. Again, that will be a goal kick. So far so good, Helen, for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, so far so good. The Finnish team like to play the ball in behind both fullbacks. That seems to be their go-to pass. So Orlea McGuinness and Sophie Keenan just need to be aware of that. And so far so they have been. And Darcy McNeil dropping in front of the back four is providing excellent cover for them.
If you've just joined us, this is the Euro 2023 qualifiers, League A Group 3 mini tournament game between Northern Ireland and Finland. Ida Heikkinen plays a pass here at Seaview, across the back, not for the first time this evening. Lovely Friday night in Belfast. There's Heikkinen, good ball again from Heikkinen into Rats, up against McGuinness, and that's quality full-back play from McGuinness. Absolutely superb, and just what the manager will want, Helen.
Yeah, shepherded out well, didn't concede the corner. Very, very, very sure performance from Orlea McGuinness. Very young, but certainly not playing like a young full-back.
No, good header again. Good anticipation that time around, and here's Heikkinen again with the throw. She'll look down the line to Sorelius, and the ball won't reach her because McGuinness is there once more. Heikkinen. It's good marshalling in the centre of midfield from Miamur. Heikkinen. Good play again. Cross to Laikinen. Right, stretching her legs out the far side was Edith Mayer, another HJK Helsinki player. This time the ball down the line is towards Jaino Keenan. She ran into trouble. Now it's with Weir. Good hold up play from Weir. Again, the Finnish seem to have a couple of additional players at times.
Yeah, Northern Ireland are defending excellently. It's just coming back down their throats a wee bit. Need to try and get a wee foot on the ball higher up the pitch. Great defending by Niamh O'Donnell. Stepped in and won it superbly.
Yeah, it is difficult, and you can see obviously the engines being tested in these early stages by the Finns. This, of course, Northern Ireland's first game, having stepped up from League B to League A, and we did anticipate that the Finns would potentially boss possession. Incidentally, in this stage, the team finishing fourth in each of the 7 League A groups will be relegated to League B for the second round of games, so there's plenty of interest and plenty of need and want to retain your position at the top table. Here's Rats, and that's quite harsh, I think, but we're behind the play, Helen. But I'm not sure how much you knew about the handball initially. No,
Northern Ireland will be relieved that it was given and can relieve a wee bit of pressure. The difficulty in Northern Ireland is they're defending so resolutely, and the concentration that requires is exhausting for these girls, and then when they get on the ball, it's that tired legs, and it's the right pass selection to try and get us out.
Yeah, need to be careful here, and O'Donnell needs to step up, and the front two, it's Jaino Kainen, and now it's with Kertu Sorelius. Sorelius dinks it in towards Laho. was poor in the end from Lehu on the turn, but the front two of Finland, Sofia Janokainen and Kertu Storelius, linking up very well there, Helen.
Yeah, they're a handful. They are athletic, they are tall, they've both got very good feet, quick on the turn. Niamh O'Donnell and Abby Sweetlove have their work cut out tonight, but so far they have marshalled them very, very well, but they are a handful.
That's a superb challenge from Abby Sweetlove, and I loved how she reacted afterwards, because she was saying to the referee, come on, she needed to get back on her feet. That was a bit of simulation.
Yeah, simulation, the buzzword. Yeah, great defender by Abby Sweetlove, steps in, wins it clean as a whistle, and big number 19 I think for Finland just went down a wee bit too easy for Abby Sweetlove's liking.
Nothing as annoying, I think, as a past defender. But I do remember that time, first striker who turned me, put the foot out, wasn't a touch, and the referee pointed to the spot, but you wouldn't have gone down that route, Helen.
Never.
There's McIntyre.
I was honest as the day's long.
That's good from Rachel McIntyre. She's running out of options, and did well to retain possession. She wants the ball back here again from McGuinness. She'll not get it. She spins, and that's good from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, McIntyre's a handful. She's so good on the ball, neat feet, and she's quick. She's a good outlet. We probably need to try and get her on the ball some more.
Sharon going past in the background here. Here's Sweetlove. First touch for the outside of the boot. As casual as you like. Back to goalkeeper, and O'Donnell I thought was taking a bit of a chance there with that first time ball, but it turned out absolutely perfect. And now it's with Moore. Just showed too much of it. Moore did to Bettina Aho. Runs to McIntyre, and McIntyre back inside to Darcy McNeil. McNeil, good forward pass, but bit of a miscontrol from Weir, and now the Finns can break. There's a good forward pass that requires Ellie Scott to come off her line. She does well. She read that last play well, and it remains Northern Ireland 0, Finland 0.
Yeah, very quick off her line, Ellie Scott, but good talk about Abby Sweetlove calling her off her line. So aware, Abby Sweetlove, for someone so young. Her game awareness is a joy to watch.
Amelia Laho dispossessed. It's good this time from Kerr. It goes from McNeil to McGuinness as we get a burst of background music, and that's what we can expect at half time, Helen.
Yeah.
You and I have had a certain vintage with
familiar with that sound.
Great ball in from McGuinness all the way across the 18-yard box, and that promised so much more, but no, we were treated to a lot of that music in the build-up to tonight's game, and that says a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's good sound, good tune. Familiar with that on a Saturday afternoon when we're waiting for score sound.
Throw in then on the far side, Sophie Keenan of Linfield, and one of the new recruits into this 16, what was a 16 strong group. It's now 20 for these Euro 2023 qualifiers, and she's done well in the opening 35 minutes.
Yeah, she's impressed me tonight. Very good awareness. She's up against a very quick player in the wide right player for Finland, and she's been very astute and very aware of her runs, and nice and tidy on the ball, and wants to pass forward.
It's with Turkey. Looks for Heikkinen. Who can Heikkinen pick out? There's the ball across the back to Anelma Laikinen. And that's asking a little bit too much of her teammates from Bettina Aho. Interesting story around the Finnish ranks. The manager Akan Okamo, he's just come into the job. He's just 30 years of age. I managed to get a word with him before the game. He was kind enough to actually take my pen and write out the starting 11, which was nice in formation. Not often you get that. He played in the Finnish fourth tier, and recently replaced Marco Soloranta, who was the under-17 manager up to August, the manager of the Finnish women's senior team left their post and he was elevated into that position, and that's where he finds himself now. So certainly opportunities there as far as the Finnish Football Association goes.
Yeah, I mean, good progression from the 17s and through to the senior for the previous manager, and a chance for the current manager to enhance his credentials.
Well, I mentioned that to him. He needed 2 thumbs up, and I think that's where he's headed. He's got an A licence, is my understanding at this minute in time. So slight bit of learning to do beyond that, I think, to get the pro licence under the belt. But at 30 years of age, he's right where he should be, really.
Yeah, he's well on the way. He's probably young to be that advanced in terms of coaching, but it's a dual process. It's the badges and then it's the experience.
Here's McIntyre ambling forward down this near touchline. McIntyre has been driven wide and potentially has too much on that in the end. We didn't really remark on, there was a fine bit of defending in the end. I think it was again Abby Sweetlove.
Yeah, she's been so resolute, but good forward play from McIntyre. Maybe deliver it a wee bit earlier rather than going to the byline, but that's nice and positive play.
Yeah, Ellie Scott got Northern Ireland in trouble that time around. It was a bit of a mishit pass out from the back, which we're all human at the end of the day, but she put her defenders under pressure, and when you think about it, her manager has given her that instruction on the sideline too. So, you know, there is culpability, I suppose, right across from management to players, but on that occasion, Niamh O'Donnell and particularly Abby Sweetlove just stepped in to quell the danger. Yeah,
I mean, any team that plays out from the back, it's high risk, high reward. If you're going to do that, you have to be confident and comfortable on the ball, but there's always the risk of a miscontrol or a misplaced pass, and the team are in, so you have to be brave to play that way.
Well, Finland in possession again, and for the umpteenth time, I'm going to say it's Ida Heikkinen on the ball. Here's Sarelius dropping in and almost reaches Laiho. The one thing I will say is that that was Kertu Sarelius dropping really midway inside the Northern Ireland half, so she's finding to pick up possession, she's having to drop deeper and deeper. Yeah,
but that's the way the Finland are moving. Their centre forwards are dropping in, and then their wide players are moving in behind, so it doesn't really leave them shy up top in terms of the space. But she's one of those rare forwards that's good at both. She's good at dropping in and she's good in behind. On tonight's viewing, anyway.
Yeah, rare to find. Mimir just caught in her heels, and Northern Ireland looking to mount an attack. 6 minutes or so to go to the break. Here's McGuinness with the throw in. That's Seaview. Heikkinen goes across to cover. Good defensive play by Heikkinen, but she couldn't do any more than concede a throw in down this near touchline, and another opportunity, Helen, for Northern Ireland to mount what could be a telling attack as we approach half time.
Yeah, it's a good wee bit of sustained pressure by Northern Ireland. This is where we're going to keep the ball in this third and try and hurt them.
Well, it's going to be a goal kick, so that's potentially not going to happen this time around, and you can see the Finns setting up and giving goalkeeper Ven Leroy opportunity to go with left and right, and that's been good to see. Building from the back, Heikkinen, a little bit too much swish on that ball. Well, the Finns put me under pressure this time around. Rats ran beyond her. Good cover again from Abby Sweetlove, but she didn't like the connection as soon as she made it. She's trying to dink the ball down the line towards Casey Weir. Couldn't quite keep it in play. Heikkinen will take the throw. It's quite good for personal development as well, Helen. These Finnish players, of course, will be away for more than a week. They'll have 3 games under their belt as well, so it's all about growing not just in footballing terms but actually on the pitch as well.
Yeah, these are great experience, these mini tournaments. Great chance to be away, represent your country socially, experience other countries. I mean, there's so many other benefits with international football that is a real credit to these players, and they seem to grab it with both hands.
And it does give the manager an insight into the player off the pitch as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of it. How can they handle being away from their families, being away from their own environments, different food, different cultures? Does that affect their performances? I mean, that's a huge part of it. If you're going to play at the elite level in the women's game, you need to be comfortable with these sorts of scenarios and environments.
There's a lovely looking pass from Sweet Love. I know that the skipper of Finland, Kiviranta, was onto it straight away, but she spotted Miamur. She looked to pick that pass and thread it through the eye of a needle. Here's McGuinness. And that's with McIntyre. McIntyre, take a look up, and that's a decent ball. The searching pass into the Finnish box, but again, nothing comes of it. It's towards Kerr. Keenan can't keep it in on the far side, and Finland will win a throw-in. Amelia Laho will leave the throw to Edith Mayer. 2 minutes plus any stoppages to half time. I can't see referee Deborah Annex adding on too much at the end of this first 45 minutes, as we see more tremendous play from Sweet Love, but it ricochets kindly for Finland, and there's 2 players down on the halfway line. This could be a drop ball at the end of this, by the looks of it. I'm not sure it was a free kick one way or the other.
No, she certainly has it indicated her arm. I think possibly it's it's a Northern Ireland free kick. Bit of a coming together and relieves the pressure on Northern Ireland.
Jannukainen, it was, who's adjudged to have committed the foul. 2 girls up top, both 15 years of age.
Yeah, 15 years of age, but fairly accomplished in their play and in their stature.
Good again, good cover from McGuinness, who continues to have a good game here at Seaview. That's brave from McGuinness. Absolute quality from her. Tries a bit of a ball out the left flank towards Gargan. Keenan can't keep it in, unfortunately. We're into the last minute of the opening half in this Euro 2023 qualifier. League A Group 3 game. And it's 0-0 between Northern Ireland and Finland, and manager Noel Mitchell will be content with what he's seen so far. Yeah,
I think so. Very, very well organised defensively. Have really restricted Finland to shot from distance and one in behind, and that they'll be pleased with how they've defended. They want to just get a wee bit better hold of the ball to try and impose their game on Finland in the second half. But overall, I think they'll be delighted with the first half performance. Have worked very hard, very disciplined, and lots to build on for the second half.
Well, they've got a corner to defend here, and the captain of Finland, Milja Kiviranta, showed the afterburners there. One step over, went round the outside and tried to dink the ball. It was a good covering tackle, but she left Abby Sweetlove for dead.
Yeah, I think that's the first time in the first 45, but great feet and great shift of body weight, and she was in behind.
Here comes the corner. Northern Ireland will want to make sure they go in with the game scoreless, and they have done that. It's been good viewing here for Noel Mitchell and for Northern Ireland's under-17s at Seaview. Not much stoppage time at the end of an interesting first half. Finland have probably bossed in terms of possession, but Northern Ireland, they have continued to hold their own. Plenty of smiles out there, and there's quite a number of options on the bench as well, and we could be set to see the full use of the squad, I think, over the 3 games in the next week or so, Helen.
Yeah, I mean, it's physically demanding playing international football, so I imagine Noel Mitchell will want to rotate. I think he'll be generally very, very pleased with the first half performance, and he'll look to get in the change room, regroup, give them a few pointers tactically in terms of how they can seek to impose their game on Finland. But overall, I think he'll be pleased with the first 45 at this competitive level.
Yeah, just in terms of what Northern Ireland have to do then, if anything, I think more cohesion in midfield possibly.
Yeah, I think they need to get a wee bit closer in the midfield three to try and get on the ball, and then it's about their outlets to Rachel McIntyre and Sophia Gargan and trying to get them on the ball and hurt the opposition. Casey Weir hasn't had much service, but when she's had it, she's done very.
And we've just seen the pitch at Seaview absolutely covered in young female footballers, one of whom I understand is your daughter.
Yes, little Lauren team there.
Yeah, certainly this gives us plenty to think about going forward. Lots of girls out there. Certainly rewind 15, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have seen the interest, and that's something I think you and I touched on very recently in a commentary last week, just how much the Women's Euros has invigorated the women's game.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's about. The pitch is absolutely mobbed with kids and loving football, buzzing to be here, and that's what the Euros, that's their legacy. That's what they have to build on and try and increase participation, and that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight. And the amount of females participation in football is excellent.
We'll hopefully get a chance to see some of the action in that opening half, and see Finland had, I suppose, the clearest of the chances. This was the header from Ida Heikkinen that was cleared off the goal line, really, from Orla McGuinness.
Yeah, good header, and Orla McGuinness was sharp to it and good clearance, good position.
Then after 22 minutes, Tilda Ratz seized upon that opportunity. She was forced wide onto her right foot from Abby Sweetlove, and then just seconds before the half-time whistle, Abby Sweetlove got her goalkeeper Ellie Scott out of a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, poor clearance, and then Abby Sweetlove does well to cover and pressure the ball and win it back, but as we said before the break, I mean, it's been shots from distance and only once cutting Northern Ireland open and getting in behind, and I think Noel Mitchell will be pleased with that given the step up in opposition that's in this group.
Yeah, Northern Ireland have worked a couple of decent opportunities down this right flank, particularly. Just the final ball, if anything, hasn't just been what it needs to be.
Some couple of really nice combinations, and then just that final pass, that final piece of quality in the final third is what's the difference between scoring and not scoring.
Yeah, another chance this was from McIntyre, and Finland managed yet again to clear the danger. This was the lovely step over beyond Sweetlove from Kiviranta that won the corner right at the end of the first half. Northern Ireland defending absolutely resolutely, and please do come back in the second half. In fact, in advance of the second half, what we're going to show you is the game earlier today, or highlights of that. It was a match played here. It kicked off at 2 p.m. and that was between Austria and the Republic of Ireland. So welcome back to Seaview at half-time in this Euro 2023 qualifier League A Group 3 game. It is Finland 0, Northern Ireland 0. It's the under-17 championship. Looks like Alfie Wiley down below us.
Yep, Mr. Wiley.
Yeah, former senior women's manager for many, many years, and laid the foundations for the current team that currently Kenny Shields has hold of. So he's a lot to answer for, Helen.
He does, and certainly played his part. That's most of my caps were under Mr. Wiley, and I have a lot to be thankful for. And he was the previous custodian of the 17s and 19 teams, and now happily in retirement.
Well, it was a solid first half from Northern Ireland. It's their first match, having come up from League B. Plenty of new faces, and plenty showing this evening just why they've been selected by Noel Mitchell. Northern Ireland, particularly in defence, were excellent. Abby Sweetlove of Linfield and Niamh O'Donnell in the centre of defence. Good quality centre-back pairing, and they did everything in their power to thwart the two-pronged centre forwards of significant stature, Sofia Janokainen and Kertu Serelius, both 15, but belying their age, and was actually the best chance for Finland came after 13 minutes off the opening half. Ida Heikkinen, who has impressed at the left-hand side of defence for the visitors. She had a header cleared off the line by Orla McGuinness. That was as close as Finland came, as we see the Northern Ireland ladies come out on the right-hand side of your screen, and the Finnish opponents in a huddle, all in white. They'll play from left to right in this second half. Helen, what are you expecting in the second 45?
I'd say more of the same for Northern Ireland. They were very compact and disciplined in defence. I think they'll just want to try and get a foothold in the game, try and get on the ball and impose themselves on Finland. And I think Noel Mitchell and his coaching staff will be more than happy with the first 45 minutes, and just hoping the girls can continue that concentration, but try and get a wee bit more in the front foot, see if there's something here to be taken out of the game.
Is this the sort of match that you try to sneak a goal, sit in, work hard?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's Northern Ireland's strengths. They're quick on the break, and that's what they'll be wanting to do. Can they hit Finland on the counter-attack and test the back four, test the keeper, see what they're made of?
Well, it'll be Finland who get us underway with Serelius. And the referee, Deborah Annex, who had very little to do, I have to say, in the opening 45. No malice, certainly, in any of the challenges, as we see Leyhope with an early touch down this near touchline for the Finns. Chance to send the ball into the box for Sofia Janokainen, and she does well. She wins an early corner kick down this near touchline, and early defending to do for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Finland starting where they left off in terms of on the attack, and Northern Ireland just need to match up man for man and deal with this corner.
Tilda Rats come across to take the corner kick. Has an option close by in Janokainen. Is actually calling for the ball. She's not marked at the minute, but Rats instead chooses to go deep to the back post, and that's onto the top of the crossbar. That was a very late arrival from Finland's number 3, Anelma Laikinen.
Yeah, late run. She came in the back post and got up very early. Great header. Just off the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, she thought she had potentially scored, and who can blame her? It was a great cross, and it just shows you the height. We talked about it right at the start of the game, Helen, how devastating that can be.
Yeah, we thought that would be an issue. Haven't hurt us too much in terms of offset plays for height, but that was a great run and a great leap up early and hung in the air, and Northern Ireland will be relieved to see that going over the crossbar.
Well, that is the closest that either team have come in this fixture so far. Still scoreless between Northern Ireland and Finland, and they've got 8 options for each team on the bench, and I'll anticipate that we will see a few changes in the second half, probably, if my crystal ball works out well, around the hour mark, as it tends to work out as.
That's usual management go-to substitution time on the hour mark.
Moore, ball runs through her legs, and Sweetlove comes in and robs possession of Finland, who win it back with Janokainen. She wanted her partner there, told the Rats to make the run through into the box, and Rats did quite the opposite. She stepped off and the Finnish move broke down. 0-0 at Seaview. Again, the conditions for Northern Ireland in late October, balmy I'll call it. It's not quite that good, but it's certainly not cool, and great conditions for the girls here to show us exactly what they're made of. Here's Bettina Aho. Ball with Laikinen. Now it's with Amelia Laho. Tried to pass down the line to Janokainen. And Janokainen judged to have committed the foul on Niamh O'Donnell.
Yep. I think just coming back from an offside position as well. I'm not sure if it was for the offside or for the wee tug on the shoulder.
Keenan does well, holds possession. Gargan loses out though, chose to go inside and had her pocket picked. Janokainen again, to come out with a real purpose in the second half. Janokainen, here's Keenan. All down the line, maybe should have been cut out initially by Edith Mayer. Get a second bite at the cherry. It's an offside down this near touchline.
Yeah, just went a wee bit too early. Needs to hold her on there.
So no changes to either side in the second half. It's Finland playing from left to right with Venla Royn in goal, Edith Mayer and Elma Laikinen, Pinja Turkia and Ida Heikkinen. Across the back, Amelia Leho, Bettina Aho, the skipper, Milja Kivaranta in midfield alongside Tilda Rats, and that's a great through ball. The goalkeeper comes, and the goalkeeper doesn't get near Kirto Sarelius. And after 49.5 minutes here at Seaview, it's the Finns who take the lead. And there was a big hole in the centre of the Northern Ireland defence, Helen.
Yeah, I think the ball skipped inside in the midfield and broke our lines probably for the first time in the match in terms of getting in behind our midfield and the centre backs, and then a great through ball and an excellent finish. Very, very composed and buried it low and hard. I don't think the goalkeeper had much chance.
Well, it's not what Northern Ireland wanted, and their defence up until now has been exceptional. They've read and thwarted just about everything, but one half chance for Kirtu Sarelius, and the 15-year-old, well, she was onto it. She saw the goalkeeper coming, Ellie Scott. She came to close the angle, but by that stage there certainly was a big gaping hole in the far corner, and no surprise she went across the goalkeeper. Yeah,
great movement by the Finnish front too. Jan Karin had pulled out wide and great run in, drived in with the ball and slipped it through to her strike partner, and she made no mistake with the finish.
So Northern Ireland with a bit to do now. The Finns leading by 0-0 just to complete the lineup. Finland have Janokainen and the goal scorer Kirtu Sarelius leading the line. For Northern Ireland, it's Ellie Scott in goal. Back four of Sophie Keenan, Niamh O'Donnell, Abby Sweetlove and Orlia McGuinness. Three in midfield are Mia Moore, Amy Kerr and Darcy McNeil, as we see again an opportunity for Finland. Well sniffed out, but side foot finish, and again it's from Kirtu Sarelius. She got just a half chance, and my word, what a finish that is from Finland's number 19.
Yeah, great strike, great technique, no backlift whatsoever. She gets over the ball and drills it low and hard past the goalkeeper. taking it early always leaves a goalkeeper with lots to do. They're unsighted, and great strike by the centre forward. 2 goals in very quick succession.
Yeah, 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Finns against Northern Ireland, and well, talk about making an impact. We knew in the first half that Cerelius certainly looked dangerous. She didn't have those sort of opportunities in the opening 45, or if she did, they had been certainly kept to a minimum. But that second finish, well, that shows you exactly what Cerelius is all about.
Yeah, that's the change of gear from Finland, and their manager, I'm sure, have been asking for at half time. They stepped on the gas, more direct and more quicker speed of play, and they got in behind us twice in quick succession. And unfortunately, that's international football. You switch off, you don't pick up your runner that one time, and you get punished at this level.
Well, Cerelius is on a hat-trick now. Northern Ireland would do well to get a goal back in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We're staying in midfield. Darcy McNeil, Amy Kerr and Mia Moore are the 3 there, and Sophie Gargan, Casey Weir and Rachel McIntyre, the 3 playing further forward. Could run kindly for Northern Ireland, and that instead runs to Cerelius, and anywhere will do this minute in time, and McGuinness starts the attack again from halfway line. Too much on it from Amy Kerr, and Northern Ireland having expended quite a bit of energy in the opening 45, and I've had that half-time team talk from manager Noel Mitchell. They've really found themselves with a different proposition just 7 or 8 minutes into the second half. What do we do from here?
We need to regroup very, very quickly. International football, unfortunately, you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. You have to pick yourself back up. You switch off and you get punished. So really harsh on the girls. They did an excellent first 45 minutes, but 2 lapses in concentration in terms of not being first to the ball, which has not been the case this evening. They've generally been first to the ball, and the Finland strikers just pounced on both occasions.
Free kick for Northern Ireland. It's a searching one, and the goalkeeper didn't quite know what to do with it. Venla Roy. Well, Amy Kerr certainly tested the finish number 1 there.
Yeah, Amy Kerr's excellent off dead balls for Ballyclare, has been excellent all season. She is really, really dangerous, can whip in a great ball with the right foot, so we need to test the keeper, and that's 2 good opportunities in quick succession if we can have a good delivery from this corner.
I'm not quite sure what the Finnish management team are shouting from. How's your finish, Helen?
Not great.
Get close, I think he's saying.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
McIntyre. Oh, what a fine shot that was. And so unfortunate to see that come back off the woodwork. That was quality from Rachel McIntyre.
Yeah, great strike with her weaker foot left. She bends it round for the far corner. So unfortunate not to pull one back for Northern Ireland.
It shows you how quick, Helen, things can change. If you think of those 2 opportunities, the free kick, which the goalkeeper just about pushed over, followed by that effort from McIntyre, another day, we could be back at 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, that's football. It can change in an instant. These are all quality players. This is elite level international football, and Northern Ireland have more than matched Finland in the first 45, so they'll be keen to try and get a foothold back in this game, and they've shown there two pieces of real quality, good delivery, and a wee bit braver perhaps on the ball, and they can hope to try and get back in this game.
As it stands, Northern Ireland trailing by 2-0. The match earlier on also played here today, finished Austria 1, the Republic of Ireland 0. And if you were with us at half time, you would have seen that the Irish girls put in a valiant effort. A couple of free kicks that went close, came close to equalising, but Austria with a little bit too much in the end, and that's who Northern Ireland face next time up. Now, here is the score of a brace so far. Cerelius, not sure whether that was a shot on the turn or whether she saw her teammate out the far flank. We'll say it was the latter of the two and give her the benefit of the doubt. She picked out that pass to Rats, but Rats ran into trouble, and that ball ran out of play on the far side. And all of a sudden, Helen, certainly across the far side, plenty of fans, plenty of spectators, and the social club at the far side full of patrons.
Yeah, there's a great crowd in tonight. I think it's just filled up there in the second half on the far side, but brilliant to see. I mean, the women's game is coming on leaps and bounds, and they're trying to attract bigger audiences and bigger fans to the games, and that comes with success, and fans bring success. So excellent to see a good crowd out tonight.
Well, here is a change for Northern Ireland. Sophie Gargan comes off, and she's replaced by her club teammate Rihanna Breen, also of Linfield. Get a look at Rihanna and see if she can shake things up here with her team losing by 2-0.
Yeah, Rihanna Breen came on in the last game against Belgium and really had a good impact off the bench, so Noel Mitchell will be hoping for more of the same.
Well, she's got a bit of tracking back to do early on here. Amelia Lejo is sitting, hugging this touchline on occasion, and she's certainly got a bit of space, but it's actually Northern Ireland who've come away with possession, and here is a first touch for Breen. Just a little bit too much on that. Certainly lacked a bit of direction for Rihanna Breen, but she'll have plenty of time to settle here. She's got more than half an hour of this game. Here's O'Donnell inside to McNeil to Keenan. Lovely skip away from Lejo. That's definitely a free kick, and is verging on a yellow card.
Yeah, great feat by Sophie Keenan. Skips past her, and Lejo taking her down.
Keenan, O'Donnell back to Sweet Love, and O'Donnell again, and again, that's a dangerous pass. She's played that a couple of times, and I don't think that's in the defensive textbook or manual.
No, definitely not the playbook, but she got away with it, and it's that risk reward football we talked about earlier. They want to play out in the back, they want to play possession football, and those passes unfortunately come with the territory. Not good for the nerves.
So, not far off the hour mark at Seaview, and there's going to be a change for Finland. Coming off is Amelia Lejo, who's had, I'm going to say, an average game. Hasn't been their most impressive player. She has had a couple of opportunities to get down the flank, and Finland looks as if they may be bringing on not one, not two, but three players potentially. Also coming on for Bettina Aho is Anela Lesninen. And the third of those changes will see Steffi Hassanen. Steffi Hassanen is going to come on for Sofia Janakainen. So, young Finnish coach Akamo, he's not afraid to make a change, Helen.
No, bringing off his goal scorer. I think they'll be looking ready to the next games. Finland, in terms of rotating players and bringing other players in for some experience at this level.
Well, the game starting to ebb and flow here. Northern Ireland did have those couple of quick fire opportunities. Amy Kerr's free kick that was tipped over the bar by Velna Royn. That was after 55 minutes, and just a minute later Rachel McIntyre's shot coming so agonisingly close to nestling in the far corner, but instead came back off the post. I'm sure she'll watch that back and have her eyes behind her hands, no doubt. It's one of those she'll have wanted to have nestled in the far corner. But the story of the game, of course, two quick fire goals both scored from Kertu Sarelius. First of those after 50 minutes sliding home past Ellie Scott, and then 2 minutes later, sublime first time hit into the corner. Here's O'Donnell. Northern Ireland's players forward here, and they change the angle of attack. McNeil from some distance, it's all of 30 yards, easily gathered, watched by the goalkeeper Velna Rowan. Was that the right switch up for you, Helen?
It's a big ask to be the top goalkeeper from that distance. I think I would have liked to seen how Finland defended off a cross, but good response from Northern Ireland to go 2 down. They've had 2 good chances and trying to push in the front foot to get back into this game.
Nelma Laikinen, who hit the woodwork. That was before Finland got their first goal here this evening. Laikinen. Now it's with one of the subs, Holmström. He wins a throw in down this near touchline. Next up, incidentally, for Finland, they're back here on Monday, and they face the Republic of Ireland's under-17 women's team, looking to bounce back from defeat earlier today against Austria. Interestingly, both Northern Ireland's under-17s and Finland's under-17s competitively, they've both won 3 of their last 5 games. For Finland, beat Norway by 2-1. It was back in May, and then were resoundingly beaten by Spain and by France as well. 4 goals they conceded against Spain and 2 against France, and then they managed to beat the Republic back in March by 2-1, and then had a fine 4-0 success against Slovakia. I know where the net is, but this League A proposition, certainly for Northern Ireland, proving quite a bit hotter than their last outing in that mini tournament in Israel, Helen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the step up in terms of opposition. I mean, those recent results for Finland, again, you know, they're mixing it with the top European sides, and in terms of France and Spain, obviously suffering 2 defeats, but Finland are a top side, and they've shown that in the second half. They've put their foot in the gas and 2 very quick goals, and have punished Northern Ireland. But Northern Ireland are coming back into it. They're back to getting their shape set and trying to get on the ball and try and get something out of this second half.
A good turn, attempted turn on halfway by Amy Kerr. Dusts herself down, and referee was quick there to award the free kick. There's Sweet Love. Short pass to McGuinness, back to O'Donnell in the end. O'Donnell goes long. It's usually cut out initially, but here's McNeil. That's good to bring. Again, no trouble for the goalkeeper.
No, but much more positive from Northern Ireland. Well won by Darcy McNeil, slips it through, nice clever pass, and a good effort from Rhiannon Breen, substitute coming on, cuts inside and just sails wide.
Northern Ireland pressing. Here's Ven Leroy. Oh, it's a lovely through ball. The goalkeeper needs to come. Oh, and she was praying there was enough pace on that ball. It was Steffi Hassanen, the second half substitute, who was reeling through towards the 18-yard box, and I just wondered momentarily whether Ellie Scott was going to either rush out, make the clearance and kick it clear. In fact, she did the opposite. She waited until the ball came quite nicely into her hands, and she looked as if she had that situation under control. She
did. She judged it well, and great through ball and great run from the centre forward, but thankfully safely into the hands of Ellie Scott.
And here come Finland again. O'Donnell. Now it's with Moore to Kerr. Kerr's dispossessed. Here they come this time. Good cut inside. There's Holmstrom, who was making her way inside the box, but again, that came to very little. Northern Ireland just need to inject a little pace into their play. There's going to be another substitution for Northern Ireland coming up. Just saw a piece of paper handed from one of the Northern Ireland bench to the fourth official, which tells me, Helen, we're going to get another change.
I think there's a few legs starting to tire out there. It's tremendously hard work pressing against a team that retain the ball so well. There's some tired legs, and I think Noel Mitchell will probably want to change it up and freshen up.
Well, that was a good foot race between Hassanin, who's just come on, and Niamh O'Donnell. And to be fair to O'Donnell, who's obviously played almost 70 minutes here, she had the legs to keep with the Finnish substitute. Yeah,
Niamh's very quick over big distances, and she won that foot race.
Here it's with Sorelius. He is, of course, on a hat-trick. She'll not score from there, mind you. She couldn't quite pick out a teammate. Here comes the change. Coming off is Casey Weir. In Casey's place is number 18 for Northern Ireland, and that is Gracie Conway. Anna Breen. It's with Moore. That's a robust challenge in the centre of midfield, and she did well, did Moore. The ball broke kindly for Northern Ireland. There's McIntyre. Here's an early touch for Conway. Just showed a little too much of it to Heikkinen at the far side.
Yeah, Conway's a bit of a different proposition. She's quicker, she's quick and direct, and Casey Weir has run her socks off tonight with pressing and good movement. So, but substitute maybe give us a wee bit of a different option up top.
Here is Iris Holstrom. Lovely turn inside, can't you see? Player out the left flank, and she does indeed. It's a lovely pick. Cuts onto that right foot. Does Tilda Rats. That was good play all round from Finland.
Yeah, great switch ball to the far side, and good first touch, drives in. One thing in her mind, going for a goal, and good strike, but Ellie Scott was more than able to it and collected it well.
Still 2-0 to Finland. Ida Heikkinen goes across. She'll get the ball back from some of the young spectators. I'm happy to get a touch of the match ball on the far side. Plenty of smiles on faces, and here's a snapshot. Oh, what a fine save that is from the Northern Ireland goalkeeper Ellie Scott from Steffi Hassanen.
It's an excellent save, struck it ferociously, and good strong hand, tipped it over the bar.
There's another look at it, first time left footed. It had goal written all over it, but Hassanen thwarted by Ellie Scott. Well, Finland do this 2-goal buffer, and it's Rats who's come across to take the corner kick. It's deep to the back post, and again it's come off the woodwork once again, and it's the same player again for the second time in the second half, and Elma Laikinen hits the woodwork.
Yeah, great header. Finland do the unusual of starting in to come out. They all cluster around the goalkeeper and then come out. That's a very hard technique when you're running out from goal to turn your head. She gets great power and direction, but thankfully the post was in the way.
Yeah, you would like to see Northern Ireland get on the goal scoring sheet this evening with this 3-game mini tournament. Off to a decent start with at least some rewards. Robust challenge this time was from Iris Holstrom in midfield. Challenge was Amy Kerr. Sweet love to O'Donnell. Looks for options, and that's a great pick of a pass to Rihanna Breen. Breen, that's a fine effort. Oh, it's hit the woodwork and it's stayed out. I'm not sure how it's stayed out, but a moment of absolute magic here. And again, Northern Ireland have hit the woodwork, Helen, but nothing to show for it.
No, that's a great effort. Great lovely touch, cuts inside, sees the keeper off, marginally off her line, and great effort. Deserved a goal. I think maybe if we had VAR, could we try and claim it was over the line? Great strike though, great strike.
No, not for the first time have we seen the woodwork struck this evening. Here's Moore to McIntyre. McIntyre, can she get past Heikkinen? And defending from the Finnish left back. He's been a standout for me this evening, and more substitutions being ready. Get your pen to the ready, Helen.
I'll let you do the pronunciation this time.
Well, coming off as the goal scorer, it's Kertu Serelius, so she's being withdrawn by the looks of things. So quite the performance for Finland. And coming on is Nia Taitsaria.
14, Nia Taitsaria, replacing number 19, Kertu Serelius.
So Serelius won't have her hat-trick. A fine shift for her nonetheless, Helen.
Yeah, she was a handful all night, and Northern Ireland back four will be glad to see her walking towards the changing room. Big and physical and great movement.
Just a quarter of an hour remaining then, and the game really has been end to end at stages in this second half, certainly in terms of the chances, albeit that Finland have 2 goals to show for their endeavours. Northern Ireland have struck the woodwork themselves twice. Just moments ago, Rihanna Breen, unfortunate, unlucky not to see 25-yard shot dip over the goalkeeper and into the net.
Rihanna Breen's been excellent. She's been really bright since she came on and given them a wee bit of impetus.
How this girl has not got on the score sheet as well, and Elma Laikinen, she's had not one but 2 headers, crashed back off the bar. That's a lovely touch outside. A decent shot on target as well from Anela Niznanen. Good play again from Finland, and Northern Ireland, I'm not quite sure where their next outlet is going to come from. It's just in terms of result then, Helen, it's looking a little bit bleaker.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, the girls who are going to be up against it, this is a very difficult group. 3 top sides they have to face in a very short space of time. A real test of their ability to mix it at this level. But I think for large spells, Northern Ireland will take lots of positives from how they've competed and how they've kept Finland at bay. Just a lesson in terms of at this level, you switch off at any point and you're so susceptible to conceding goals, and you'll be punished by top strikers who can swivel and hit in very little space.
And that's the difference, isn't it? You know, the further you go up that kind of pyramid, the more clinical things become, as we see Finland come again. That's a great cut back, and almost resulted in an opportunity for Steffi Hassanen. The cutback was certainly a clever one from Tatisari, having just come on.
Yeah, great cutback. The easy option was the ball whipped across the front post, but she lifted her head and cut it back to the 6-yard box. But Orlea McGuinness, great awareness to nip in front and clear the ball.
Yeah, I was just saying, the further you go up the pyramid, you do see that the half chances, obviously confirmation, Finland 8 total attempts, Northern Ireland registering 5, as we see that ball run out of play. But if you take the second goal from Serelius, that is a case in point, isn't it? Just a half chance on the edge of the box, boom, it's in the far corner. Top
strikers, top countries, top teams, that's the difference. It's clinical. They don't give away much at the back, and they take their chances, and that's football the world over. It's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to put the ball in the back of the net. Those that do it well make it look easy, but at this level they only need half chances.
Here's Edith Mayer. Again, it's a throw-in technique I'd like to see perfected a little bit more from the Finnish right back, and I think the referee's been lenient on it. We're about to see it again.
Yeah, incredibly lenient. I think it's been a foul throw all night, to be honest, but here we go again. Was she?
That's a better one.
Yeah, that one, commentator Scott, that was actually the first one she's done tonight that's been lawful.
Here's Sweet Love. Again, dropping in is Nannon. Tried the more difficult ball. Here's Breen to McIntyre. McIntyre shows Heikkinen in the line. Heikkinen's defending continues to impress. All of a sudden, Northern Ireland forced back when that move had quite a bit of impetus to start with, and Finland come away with possession. Here's Tilda Ratz. And Abby Sweetlove has been turned, and that will be the game's first yellow card, and well, that's probably about right.
Yeah, that's one you take for your team. I mean, she's spun Abby Sweetlove there. If she lets her go, they're breaking with numbers, and Northern Ireland are in trouble. That's the kind of yellow card you want your defender to take.
Change for Northern Ireland is going to see Niamh O'Donnell come off, and coming on in her place is number 14, Sophie McGee. And further change then. Coming off is Mia Muir.
Number 14, Sophie McGee.
Coming on
in
Mia Muir's place is Faye Loughran of Lisburn Rangers. Just interesting one. Sophie McGee had a quick word with Noel Mitchell, Helen, before the game. Plays her football domestically with Grasshoppers Zurich.
Yeah, qualifies through her father, I'm led to believe. She lives in Switzerland, and I think in 3 more years she'll have eligibility for German nationality, so definitely one we'd like to hold on to. Very strong, confident defender, clean in the tackle, very physical.
Oh, here she is, McGee. She's dispossessed though. Should be easily tidied in the end by Ellie Scott. It's just the pace of the game for substitutes when they come on. It just takes that little moment, doesn't it, to kind of get up to the speed that the rest of the outfield players have been operating in.
Yeah, it's difficult coming on as a substitute. You don't have time to settle, especially in a game like this where you're under the cosh and you're trailing 2-0. You have to find your feet very quickly, especially in the back four.
Well, that's a good take. Forward pass though from Breen is asking quite a bit of Gracie Conway. What a chasing Northern Ireland are doing, and how sustainable that is in this last 10 minutes is yet to be proven. Oh, that's lovely play from McIntyre, great footwork. Ball down the line again, it's looking for Conway, but just too much on it in the end. Vikinen looks for the long ball over the top. It's well watched though by Sophie McGee. It's kindly all the way back to Venla Roy. Finland will build again from the back, and for them, they want a third goal here. Certainly not shutting up shop, and that's good to see as well. Makes for a good open game, particularly for the neutral.
Not so much for the Green and White Army.
It's McNeil as well, and that's back with McGee. McGee will go back to their goalkeeper, to Scott, and now it's with Sweetlove. This is better from Northern Ireland. McIntyre needs options though, and Orla McGuinness did make the run just a millisecond too late, and Finland, well, they got wind of it, didn't they?
Yeah, they pressed so quick, Finland. I mean, the minute the Northern Ireland girls are taking their first touch, they're right tight on them, and that's again the difference in the stand-up in opposition. You don't have time on the ball, you don't have two touches, you've got one touch, and you need to get it right first time to have a chance to make your next move and make your next pass, and elite opposition just don't give you those time on the ball.
Looks as if Finland are going to bring on Ellen Anasoja.
Substitution. Number 13, Ellen Anasoja.
And she's coming on for the skipper, Kiviranta. Strong game. Certainly both Northern Ireland and Finland sharing the love in terms of making sure players get appearances, get to feel the buzz of what it's like out there, particularly in this top tier of Euro 2023 qualification. That's good covering again by McGuinness. Sweetlove. It's up against, I think it was Hassanen, and Dabby Sweetlove there. She needs to be careful.
Yeah, she's on a yellow. I mean, at this stage in the game, you won't do anything silly. There's 2 games left to go, and it's tiring playing elite football for 90 minutes, and the girls have worked very hard. Both managers will be wanting to give some tired legs a bit of rest for the upcoming games.
Yeah, I think it's sensible refereeing, isn't it, from Deborah Annex? I mean, she just had a wee nibble at the Finnish striker on that occasion. On another day, if she hadn't been cautioned earlier on, that could have invited a yellow, harsh, some might say, but you know, it's a tightrope she's walking.
Tightrope, but she stopped the attack, so yeah, you're bang on. On another day, she could have got a yellow for that. Not particularly harsh challenge, but it's the nature of the foul. It stopped them breaking on a quick attack.
Well, McGee just showed a little bit too much of that ball to Steffi Hassanen, the same player involved again, but this is quality from Conway. Every little roll of the foot over the top of the ball in that move, and showing plenty of confidence.
Yeah, Conway and Breen have done very well since coming on, both linked up excellently.
Here's Keenan. Sophie Keenan. Breen. Lovely turn, but again it was well read by the Finnish defence. Opportunity for Northern Ireland. The ball, though, didn't fall as kindly as the home team would have wanted. Faye Loughran it was who was almost onto that. And that's good from Kerr. Under plenty of pressure there from Anasoja.
Yeah, she's battled very hard, Amy Kerr, all night.
Loughran round the corner to McGuinness. Wanted a free kick, did Northern Ireland, for a bit of a nudge in the back on Loughran. And unfortunately the ball's gone out on the far side. So under 3 minutes to go here at Seaview in this Euro 2023 qualifier. Northern Ireland trailing Finland by 2-0. 2 goals within 7 minutes of the start of the second half. Kertu Starelius with the brace. And 2 fine efforts they were too. And those strikes look set to give the Finns the points in this group. Will Mitchell, though, will be happy, I would say, Helen, with what he's seen tonight.
Yeah, large aspects of the performance tonight have been really, really impressive from Northern Ireland. First 45, they marshalled Finland very well, restricted them to few chances. And really, a 10-12 minute period where Finland really stepped on the gas in the second half. They've also matched them physically and had a few chances of their own on another night with a bit more luck. I mean, this game could have been a wee bit closer than the scoreline suggests.
Yeah, and a couple of heavy touches at the back. And I have to say they've been fortuitous at times, Finland, at the back.
Yeah, I mean, Northern Ireland also, those wee half chances in terms of decisions of the referee, I mean, that comes with experience at this level. You know, you get a nudge, you go down, you know, all of those things relieve pressure and get you up the pitch, but that comes with experience at this level.
Loughran, too much on it. Not what she intended. Faye Loughran. Down the right. Had a couple of difficult moments and in fact made a couple of telling saves as well. Amy Kerr's free kick, if you remember, tipped over the crossbar 10 minutes into the second half. She's got quite the stature for a goalkeeper, and she's done well this evening. Here is Sophie McGee. Chooses to play the ball out, and it will be another throw in with just half a minute remaining at Seaview in Belfast. It looks as if Northern Ireland's start to this mini series is going to result in defeat. Plenty of glimpses of what the management team will be more than content with as we see the Belfast bound train go by in the distance. Fourth official is indicating that there will be 3 minutes of added time at the end of the game, so 3 minutes in which to get something, even a consolation, Helen, would be good.
Yeah, I mean, they would deserve it for their efforts. I mean, this is a huge learning curve and a very steep learning curve for these players at this elite level. The step up from B to A is massive, but Northern Ireland have acquitted themselves very well tonight. Make no mistake, Finland are a top side, huge population compared to Northern Ireland in terms of selection options. They have 38,000 registered players compared to our 3.5 roughly, so I mean, Northern Ireland have done excellent tonight and lots of positives to build on for the remaining 2 games of the group.
Yeah, great start. So, what, 10 times really the player pool? So
I mean, you're up against it right from the off in terms of the size of our nation. But we know that it's Northern Ireland, and we don't mind that tag of underdogs. And there's certainly plenty of fight in our players, and they certainly haven't been outclassed for 90 minutes tonight. They have matched them in large spells of the game.
Talking of plenty of fight, I mean, you're into the 91st minute. Sophie Keenan with an absolute, robust challenge to say the least, but one that was clean. Yeah,
clean and fair. I mean, great challenge. I mean, that's what these games are about. It is competing one-on-one against your opponent. Can you win your individual battles, and then collectively you build as a team? And there's been lots of individual battles that have been won tonight all over the pitch. It's just that quality, that switching off for one period, and you're punished, unfortunately.
Well, 2 Finnish players stood over this. Steffi Hassanen is there. Alongside her is Aris Holmström. And it'll go. I'm going to play it in the corner here. It's actually Patasari who's alongside Hassanen, trying to do a bit of an Alan Shearer down in that quadrant. That was something that he practiced remarkably well down the years.
He was some finisher.
So inside the last minute, and very nearly saw at least one goal here for Northern Ireland this evening. Anna Breen hitting the bar, and Rachel McIntyre as well, seeing her shot come back off the post. So a chance for the players, Helen, to dust themselves down ahead of Monday's game then against Austria.
Yeah, and that's what tournament football's about. You don't have long to lick your wound. You've got to pick yourself up. There's another game in 2 days' time, and they'll recover tomorrow. They'll analyse their performance, and I think when the dust settles, they'll be pleased with huge aspects of it. There's things to learn, of course, as a team, as individuals, but overall I think they'll be disappointed but not distraught. I suppose it is a difficult level to compete at, and they have certainly given a good account of themselves.
Well, there is the referee's full-time whistle. Of course, both these sides competing for a place at next summer's Euros, which will be held in Estonia. Full-time this evening, Finland running out winners by 2-0. Both goals scored by Kerttu Sarelius, one of two. Really impressive strikers leading the line for the visitors this evening, and you can see, yes, the Northern Ireland girls slightly disconsolate, but by the same token, Finland and the girls there, they're certainly they're more than happy with their performance this evening, which showed that they had to put in every single ounce of effort to get the victory here.
Yeah, Finland had to work hard for their 2-0 scoreline. First 45, Northern Ireland shut out excellently, and then, as we said, two moments of excellence from the centre forward. Both centre forwards were top drawer tonight for Finland, and a real handful for the Northern Ireland girls to deal with.
In terms of a takeaway then for Northern Ireland then, who had 5 attempts in total, as you can see there, so certainly they may have been out of luck in the goal front, Helen, but plenty to take away. Yeah,
lots of pleasing positives, as I said. I mean, they have gone toe to toe on occasions. 2 great chances on another night that maybe would have went in, and you're looking at a different scoreline, but steep learning curve, but lots of positives to take and build for the next 2 games for Northern Ireland. I think Noel Mitchell will be pleased.
Yeah, and that's the Heikkinen header that was cleared off the goal line by McGuinness in the first half. There's some of the opportunities in the first 45, and this one was for Rats. Finland had probably the Lions' share of possession in the opening 45, but Northern Ireland did have opportunities, particularly down this near touchline, and McIntyre found herself with the ball at her feet and plenty of space, but couldn't quite find a way past a resolute Heikkinen and Turkey in the centre of the Finnish defence. Northern Ireland, Helen, in the first half, they would have been happy to go in nil apiece.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was an excellent first 45 at this level. More than pleased with the performance. You see from the stats there, this was not a case of Northern Ireland under the cosh for 90 minutes, not at all. They did impose themselves in Finland, just couldn't get the breakthrough. Finland were very compact in defence, sharp and quick to the ball, didn't give the Northern Ireland girls any chance to settle on the ball, which is the difference at this level.
And this was the chance for Anelma Heikkinen early in the second half. Great header it was too, on the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, great leap and a great whipped in ball, and unfortunate another night that seals in the net.
This was the first of the goals, the front 2 linking up so well with the outcome. Kerttu Sarelius latching on and nipping in and putting the ball into the bottom corner. Then just a couple of minutes later, she got what was just a half chance, didn't she? Yeah, saw the goal and slotted away emphatically.
Great technique for the second goal. No backlift whatsoever. Swings through the ball and nestles in the bottom corner. Goalkeeper no chance.
Then of course Northern Ireland did come close. That was the free kick from Amy Kerr, tipped over the crossbar, and then this McIntyre effort, snapshot. That was so close.
Great technique. Deserved a goal. Very, very unfortunate not to see that go in the back of the net.
And Northern Ireland, again, credit to what they were trying. This one was Darcy McNeil, I think, from distance, all 35 or so yards, and they tried their luck yet again. This time it was Rihanna Breen. And I think after this, Breen again went close. We'll see that in just a second. And Finland did try to increase that 2-goal buffer, but no way past Ellie Scott. And this was a fine save from Steffi Hassanen.
Great save. Seen it late and reactions very, very quickly. Tipped it over the bar. Great save.
This was a lovely take, wasn't it, by Breen? And you could see what she was trying to do. And on another day, that would have been postcard perfect. The ball winding up in the back of the net. Wasn't to be though.
Yeah, she was a real bright spark when she came on. I thought she was a real threat. That opportunity there, great touch inside and looked up, saw the keeper off her line, and great hit. Very unfortunate not to see her name on the score sheet tonight.
Well, unfortunately, Northern Ireland, despite their best efforts this evening in this League A Group 3 mini-tournament, first game for them, qualification round for the Euro 2023 campaign. It finishes in a 2-0 defeat to Finland, but plenty of positives to take into the next match, which is at Solitude on Monday. They follow up with a game on Thursday next week, back here against the Republic of Ireland. Helen McKenna, thanks for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure, Barry. Thanks for having me.
And do join us again next time. Full time though this evening from Seaview in Belfast. It finishes Finland 2, Northern Ireland 0.